Hi everyone, my name is Janelle.
And I'm Jessica.
And welcome back to another episode of
Skills to Pay the Bills.
So this week we're going to talk about how to eat out on a budget. So let's get started.
So you might be thinking, if I'm on a budget, why would I be eating out? Isn't the best way to save money not dining out? Well, you would be right. But let's be realistic here. You want the convenience, you want the dining experience, and you want those delicious flavors mixing in your mouth. So let's talk about how we can have all that while still saving money.
First of all, I want to define what eating out means. So eating out means you are paying for a meal that somebody else prepared for you. So how often should you eat out? Well, what if I told you 54% of Canadians eat out at least once a week? That's a lot. So say you spend about $20 per meal when you eat out, so that includes meals, tips, drinks, maybe dessert. In a month, that's $100 a month. That is a substantial amount of money you're using to eat out. So how should you decide whether to eat out or not?
Well, that depends on you. After you look at all of your essentials like food, shelter, clothing, how much money do you have left in your budget to work with? Let that number help you decide how often you can eat out in a month.
If you've made it this far into the video, then awesome. Let's talk about setting some boundaries to eating out. So remember, eating out could mean going through that drive-thru or having that fancy dining experience. So, for example, say you have $25 on your budget. When you get into the restaurant, look at parts of the menu that are within your budget. So if there are things on the menu that are over $25, don't look at it. It's so much easier that way. Or an even easier way to do that is to basically choose a reasonably priced restaurant. So I'm going to repeat it again, reasonably priced restaurant. So if you're going out with friends, tell them you are trying to save money and that you guys should pick something that's within your price range. Makes it a lot easier to save money that way. So another thing that you can do as well is to choose specific dates and then stagger them across the month. That way you're not spending a whole bunch of money all in one shot.
So if you do find yourself drawn to that fast food restaurant on a whim, maybe try and keep some snacks nearby to help quell those cravings. So if you are craving for a salty burger, maybe keep a bag of chips on hand. Pay attention to be mindful of certain dates, foods, people, events that might make you want to partake.
So for example, why and when do you eat out? Or who are certain people that make you spend more money? What can you do about it? Are there ways to approach that to help reduce the amount of money you're spending? Now you're in the restaurant. How do you save money while you're in there? Keep in mind that there is a pandemic about, so that you're following those guidelines set out and that you're up to date on that information. However, we're not going to cover that in this video as much. I just want to preface it that some of the suggestions that we're putting forward may not necessarily be appropriate for the current time. So keep that in mind. Hopefully when things get back to normal, these will be a little bit more applicable. So how do you save money when you're in the restaurant? When you go to a restaurant, there are certain times of the day, week, or month that are the best ways to save money. So for example, if you pick a certain day of the week or a certain time of the day, there are certain specials or there's certain promos going on where they have reduced prices for certain meals that are on the menu. So for example, I know an Edmonton restaurant that has a day that's all you can eat shrimp and all the meals are reduced as well. So there's that restaurant. If you don't like shrimp, look for other places that have reduced pricing elsewhere. So for example, I know another restaurant that has a $15 all-you-can-eat buffet experience instead of a $30 buffet experience if you go between 1 and 5 p.m. or after 9 p.m. So yeah, there's that as well. So remember, there's a lot of options to look through. The best way to do it is to look online to see what promos are going on, or literally walk through and look at what the restaurant signs say. Maybe there's promos in there as well.
And if you do find some of those places, tell your friends. Get them to meet you there. Go for dinner there. That way you are all saving money. Win-win. But if you do want that super fancy dining experience, once a year in Edmonton, the Downtown Business Association puts on an event called the Downtown Dining Week. So during this time, a bunch of downtown restaurants offer meals at reduced prices. So this would be a great opportunity for you to try some of that higher end dining at a student budget.
So back to our original question. So you're in the restaurant. How do you save money while you're in there? Well, let's talk about drinks. Drinks are generally overpriced and cost more per unit in a restaurant. So I'm talking about that $3 to $5 cup of tea that costs $5 for a can of 30 at the grocery store. So the best way to save money really on that is to just order water. It is so much cheaper that way. Another thing that you can do is to ask for the daily special. So generally restaurants have some sort of daily special throughout the day, and sometimes they're trying new meal combinations and they're more likely to present that as a daily special at a reduced cost. So another thing you can do is to look at what's filling on the menu. So look to see what on the menu you're gonna get the most of. That'll be so filling that you can't finish it, so you get to take leftovers home.
Yes.
And you can extend that purchase at that restaurant into 2 meals instead of 1.
So now that you have some information on ways to save while dining out, our challenge to you is to create a dining out plan. So how much can you spend in a month? Really try to maximize your budget if you can. If you have a list of places that you've been meaning to visit, go check them out. See if they have any specials that you can take advantage of. And don't forget when you do so to check out our handy dandy Should I Dine In or Should I Dine Out card that will be up on our website. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Skills to Pay the Bills. If you want more money management content, be sure to let us know. In the meantime, if you haven't seen our other videos, then please go check them out. Bye, everyone.